Okay, hi folks. This is just a very quick start look at Boomtown. Now, in order to get into Boomtown, there are a couple of different things you can do. We've got two basic or two packages. There's the basic subscriber package, and then of course the professional version. We are bringing other editions out soon. The basic one is where you really just want to have a look at the DSR score or the capital growth potential for a particular suburb. So let's have a look at Lane Cove North. Oh, that's a great score. Now, you'll notice there that we give you a very basic description of the potential for the suburb. The DSR score is 31 out of 48, so you can see it's above the sort of balance, the market imbalance. We've got a theoretical balance of 24 out of 48. So that side there, supply exceeds demand, and this side, demand exceeds supply. And obviously those markets are always in a state of flux, and it does change. That's why it's a good idea to come back and check these scores at least every month, and then look at the trending data. Now those are, you can check the score once off, you don't have to do anything, but the moment you want to see the stats behind the score, you'll see now that you're prompted to either log in if you're an existing user or to register. So I'm going to register with my details there. It's email, first name, last name, and that's all you need to do. Now, the moment you get in there, you'll notice that there's a couple of little things that you can click on. For example, if you want to get started, then we've got some good resources here. You want to know a little bit about the DSR score and what it is, that there are 8 different demand supply indicators that make up the score, and of course we all get a bit confused sometimes. The app doesn't maybe work as you would expect, or you just have some general questions. Go to support. Then of course, if you're ready to invest, we're not just about great data and research tools. We've also got a number of different services that you could look at. So we encourage you to click on those links and then to basically to get started. So we click there, and now we can go. Now, I'll take you back to the beginning. You'll see there, let's go back to Lane Cove. Now, here's a little tip. Depending if you're doing this on your mobile device, Boomtown has been optimized to work better on a mobile, or not better, to look good on a mobile device. You can see on a desktop it's stretched out a bit, but it works on both. I tend to use it on my mobile if I'm on the road and I'm just interested. Maybe I've read something about a suburb and I just want to get a quick feeling for what the stats are behind that suburb and the overall DSR score. But if I'm going to go into much more detail and look at the graphs and the trends and all the bits that come with this, I tend to do it on my iPad or on my desktop computer. All right, so let's have a look here. Lane Cove there. Now, because I've registered as a basic user, I can go and have a look at the stats behind the score. By the way, big tip, look at the statistical reliability. That is a massive feature that is so underlooked or underestimated, I'll say. So have a look at the info icon there, and it'll tell you a bit about what it is. And that's the same for everything in this app. You just have to click on any of these info icons, and you'll know exactly what they mean and how they can help you choose a very good suburb out of a potential 15,000, or indeed if you've got some properties already in a particular location, or you're thinking of buying in a location, well, you might want to think twice after looking at the stats behind it. Because remember, even if the stats are okay, there are hundreds of other suburbs that will probably have much better statistics. So it's not just about getting a good, identifying a good location, but it's about getting the best location. All right, now if I want to go have a look at the graphs and trends, it wants me to upgrade. Okay, so you can also upgrade through any features that you click on where there's an upgrade required. Obviously, it will prompt you. There's another feature here, for example, if you want to do a search, show me all the suburbs in Australia with a score between 35 and 40. Now at this stage, if you don't know much about the score, I'd encourage you to go and really have a look at some detail behind the score. You can go to Hotspot Central, look under tools, and you'll see the DSR score there. So it gives you all the background. But also there's some short videos on Boomtown, in the Boomtown section of Hotspot Central as well. But you can see here, here's another great feature. You might have the parameters set quite wide, and that'll give you, 500 at least suburbs in your list. That's just too many. So you can say, well, no, I just want to close it off just at the top 30. But anyway, you need to upgrade to do that. So you click on the upgrade button and it takes you here. Now you can see if you're already a user like I am, it's pre-filled some of the details. So we try and make it as hassle-free as possible for you. So just fill out all that information. You've got, at this stage, it's a free app. We are bringing out a commercial version, but in return, all we ask is that you give us a little bit of a like on Facebook. So you're going to click on that link, like us. It'll release a promotional code. You just drop that promo code in there. Or if you're feeling generous and you want to tell your friends about it, put their name and email address in here, and we'll send them an email. I don't put any bad emails in because we know about that. Often they bounce, or we get people coming back to saying, why do you send me this? I don't want this information. So guys, help us grow this, keep it free, or keep most of it free. It's not always going to be free, by just giving us a little bit of a like on Facebook or any of this other social media that you might even want to do it, aside to just doing it on there. So once you're ready to go, you just click on the button there, get Boomtown Pro, and you're in. So it's really that easy. Let's have a look. I want to find let me go back to the front screen here. This is about finding a hotspot. Okay, so first off, as I said, Lane Cove, tell me what this particular suburb's doing. Great score, might get a good finance offer there. Click on the suburb stats. You can see the 8 different demand and supply indicators add up to that score. You can go and have a look at the graphs and trends if you're a professional user, and just see how it's been going over. Lane Cove, pretty stable. So, city suburb, CBD suburb will always be pretty stable. Days on market. Pretty flat, not flat, but standard for an area like this. So those are probably just seasonal fluctuations throughout the year. And if you like it, you can go and save it at your suburbs. So it's been saved there. You go back to the front screen. They are my favorite suburbs. Great if you're reading about different suburbs and you think, this one looks good. Go and check out the stats on the fly. Save it there, and eventually you might have your bucket of potential hotspots that you then want to drill down into by doing a lot more detailed research online, phoning local agents. We've got a great guide, by the way, if you have a look here. It'll show you all the detail. Where is it? You can go there, 136-page manual. That guide is something that Jeremy Shepherd has created. It's really his step-by-step guide that he used to buy 7 properties that doubled in value in less than 3 years. That's a great story. He then used the equity to buy a subsequent, I think it was 9 properties, 16 all up on the average wage, and that's just through desktop research. The book even shows you how to get the local agents to run around in areas. Obviously, very few successful investors invest in their own backyard. So the DSR score tells you where to go, even if it's across the country, and then the guide shows you how to actually put that into effect once you've got your, say, 10 suburbs that you want to focus your research on, and then to get the local experts running around and feeding back information for you and helping you execute your strategy. And really, he did that all from the comfort of his desktop, so you can do that too. It's all in that guide. The guide's also available on Hotspot Central. So if you just go to hotspotcentral.com.au, you can see it's a nice responsive website, so it'll look great whether it's on your mobile phone, your desktop, or iPad, or wherever. Just go to resources, research guide, and you can look at some information all about the guide, what's in there. We'll give you a little bit of a walkthrough, and you can see, now this is not meant to be a sales pitch for the guide, but I just want to let you know that you've got the tools to really put Boomtown and the DSR score into actual effect for yourself, not just fiddle around on the device to use the tool. Okay, so let's go to Hotspot Finder, DSR score. Remember I said 24 is a market imbalance. There you go. So if you want to find suburbs where supply is, or demand is exceeding supply, then you just go up this end of the scale. But obviously if you go too high there, it's usually a seller's market. There's very little supply. Prices are already going through the roof. You want to find somewhere, I tend to look anything from about 20 to maybe 35 or 40. That might still be a little bit too wide. There'll be a lot of suburbs like that. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of suburbs with great potential in every single state. Each suburb is its own market. So we'll have a look, let's say New South Wales, up to $750,000. You might be able to buy a garage for that, I don't know. Let's include no data. Now the no data bit, that's just about some suburbs, their rate statistics. Let's say there are no auction clearance rates. There's not an auction clearance rate stat for that particular month. You still want that maybe to appear in your shortlist. Just because there's no data there, you just go, yep, include no data, and then limit it to the top 30 suburbs. Maybe you only want to see houses and not units. That's pretty cool. You can go to advanced and add to all those different things. So if you're particularly interested in just getting suburbs with a high rental yield, low vacancy rate, reasonable days on market, then you can just choose those, and then you click continue. Right, now you can see that there are 486 suburbs that made the list there. Look down there. So we're lucky because it actually stops at 500, it would have told you to do another search. And that's probably because we've included all the null values, as I mentioned, the no data selection box there. So now you can click on each one of those columns. This is not that obvious, so just take note of this. Click on those columns to sort them. So you can see Cambridge Gardens houses. That's the typical value. It's good to know what typical values. It's different from median. But there, by clicking on that, you can see it's sorted that column, and you've got all the stats, and you can just go from side to side. On your mobile phone, just drag it from side to side. Whoops, I've done something there that I don't know what I've done with my mouse. But on your mobile phone, you can just hold your finger on the table and move it left and right, and you'll see the table move from left to right. So it's pretty responsive on all devices. Responsive meaning it'll just automatically configure itself to look good on each device, whether it's a mobile or desktop. Alright, so that is a very quick snapshot walk around about Boomtown. There's nothing strategic in what I've just showed you, it's just a little bit of a walk around. If you need some expert advice and some videos, you can go here, talk to an expert. We've got buyers agents in our networks, we've got a range of different industry professionals that are waiting to help you. We can make recommendations there. Those don't go direct, and they come to us. We look at what you want to achieve, and we'll go, right, these guys use our data, they use our research methods, we know they're great guys, they get good results. We'll contact you, check if you want to move, if you'd like a referral, and we'll give you an arm's length referral to them. There are not many videos in this section here, because that's all now. Most of this content is available on Hotspot Central rather than within the app. But if you're on the fly, on the fly, and you just want to quickly find out what the auction clearance rate stat means, or how to go and find capital in the suburbs with great capital growth with good rental yields, there are videos that show you all how to do that. And then how to use Boomtown. Lots of questions and answers there. And again, I encourage you to go to Hotspot Central. There are a great number of magazines that we've featured in writing about using this sort of technology for research. So go and learn about what it all means, how to apply it to your particular circumstances. A hotspot to me is not a hotspot to you. So when you read about suburb hotspots in the media, some of those magazines are read by 50,000 people. Well, that particular hotspot is not a hotspot for all 50,000. This is about finding your hotspot, one that matches your financial requirements, your appetite for risk, and of course a location that you feel comfortable with. And it's also very good for monitoring the data on suburbs where you already have properties. You might have an existing property portfolio, and of course suburbs come and go in terms of their capital growth potential. You need to know which ones are on the decline if you have a property there, and Boomtown is great for that. You can just track the data, see what's trending, and and take the necessary course of action, whether it's selling, obviously factor in selling costs, or just reapplying your capital elsewhere. All right, so enjoy this. I think Boomtown's a fabulous tool. We've got many thousands of people using it. There are people that are very busy with their day-to-day jobs, their family life, social lives, and property is something they do on the side. Well, we freed up a lot of time for those people to enable them to take investing to the next level using something like Boomtown. And indeed, we've got buyers agents, developers, all manner of professionals using Boomtown as well in exactly this way to either help themselves or their clients make great decisions. So there's a quick tour. Hope you enjoy that, and please have a look at all the other content we've got on the website, and we're adding to it all the time. And we'd love your feedback. This is an app that we've built for you, and unless you tell us what you want, we will never know, and we can't build it in. So please, feedback is welcome, and we want to move this app forward with exactly how you want, all the features you want to see. Thanks very much.